Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next part of the Pokemon Trading Card game Let's Play. So, one thing I was going to dwell into the last part was just the fact that, okay, shitty games. Okay, we've had one person make a request for Dragon Ball Z Sagas, and sure enough, we had another person send me a personal message saying I would totally love to see it. So, obviously, in the future, we will be doing a DBZ Sagas, but it got me to thinking of other, there's another shitty game that James recently got we're going to be looking into getting. What was it called? LHR, LOR, something like that.
RLH.
RLH. Totally gonna play that, but it just kept making me think of one of the games that pissed you off, and I can't remember the name of it. It was an RPG game, one where you input certain fighting commands like up, down, X, or something like that, and it would do a special attack, and the walkthrough kept explaining every boss battle as the hardest one you would ever play, and would make you want to break the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, the game he is speaking of is Legend of Legaia.
That's what it was, Legend of Legaia.
And when you're reading, when you hop on the guidebook for an RPG, I'm not good at these things, so I have to look them up on, guides and stuff. And what would end up happening is, every time I'd go look up another boss, the one that was after the one after it, they're like, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, looks like you're going to have to grind like 6 hours before you fight this guy. And I'm like, nope, not doing it.
He was, back when I was still in Laramie, he was over visiting, thinking about moving there with me, brought over that game. We spent maybe 2 straight nights of him playing it, and I thought he was gonna break the whole PlayStation in half. He was getting so pissed off.
It's actually one of the games that when I first realized I was gonna be able to buy it, I was so excited because that was the game I grew up with. I had a demo of it, and it was so good on the demo that, hey, why wouldn't it be good now? It's terrible. That game, if you're a die-hard RPGist, yeah, you're going to love it. When you're like me, where Final Fantasy 1's pushing the limit, yeah, it's not fun at all.
So totally got to see him play that game one of these days.
Yep,
just to see how frustrated he gets. Just to see how frustrated, how pissed he gets with it. Because that was stuff of gold when I saw it in Laramie. And just thinking about playing all these terrible games, I'm just like, boy, I gotta make him play that one. Just because the guide itself just kept saying, by the way, this is gonna be the hardest boss you go against. Very next boss. By the way, remember how hard the last boss was? This one's now the hardest one you're gonna go against. And it kept saying that. Every single boss just kept on saying it was going to be the hardest boss you'll ever fight that will tempt you to break your controller in two. And by God, did he come close on multiple occasions.
Oh, man,
so that is definitely something we got to do. So, tell us what's going on in the video right now.
Okay, what ended up happening was I wanted to show you guys how stupid the tutorial is, because this is the fastest way to beat the practice duel. Also, I was going to show you that this is one of the best ways in the game to get energy cards. When you beat him in the practice duel, he gives you an entire boost pack filled with nothing but energy cards. And as you'll see, because we open up quite a few of these on camera, there's only one in each booster pack. So in order to build up for like additional decks down the road,
you got to go against this guy.
Yeah, you're going to have to go against him a couple times, because otherwise the amount of times you're going to have to play people just to get the energy cards necessary to build decks,
it just gets
annoying.
Forever.
Yeah,
it just keeps going and going. And also, like, I think after this one, during at one point, you went off camera and grinded like
I think it was 5 or 6 victories
at least, and it was so funny because you needed, I think it was like nothing but grass and water. I think it was were the 2 main ones that you had. And he just kept shafting you again and again. All you kept getting was electric,
and like
fire, and
ground.
psychic.
Yeah.
You would get 1 grass, and you would look at me just so perplexed with that face you give of, do I really have to do it again? He had to do it 5 times just to finally get 1 pack that had 3 grass and 2 water. He finally said, that's it, that's enough.
Yeah, the grinding that I'm going to do for this game is I'm gonna try to keep it as limited as possible, as you're about to find out the hard way coming up here soon. I jet straight for the,
I mean, look at that. 1 water, all fighting. And that's literally what happened when he was trying to grind it.
So here I changed the text speed because Lord knows it crawls. So.
And like, you know, any other... Oh, well, here's your rival.
Yeah, you have a rival in this game. Just like in every Pokemon game, he shows up randomly. I'll kind of give you some hints on when he shows up. You're going to really like where this rivalry goes in this game, because our first encounter with him is hilarious, to say the least.
So funny.
So, anyway, watch this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going straight for the gold. This is the master. I have a grass deck. I figure, why not? This was hands down
the dumbest
worst fight I've ever had.
Well, first you go to your computer to get yourself a couple emails that give you booster packs. How an email gets you booster packs is beyond me.
And not only that, but he also explains to you... Oh, we got a good card in here. Nido King's really good, which actually end up using him primarily later, which is really good. But he explains to you the weakness of the gym guy that he sends you the booster pack for. Usually there's one card in the booster pack that's specifically designed for that gym leader, which is nice. But of course, it's always random, so you never know. I'm going to edit my deck for just a little bit, because there's a thing in this game called oversaturation. If your deck is oversaturated, you don't do very well. You want to have one evolutionary line of stage 3, and then have a couple 2s, and then of course some base Pokemon like Tangela, Scyther, so on and so forth. I'll explain more deck building strategies later. And but like here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
And like with every other kind of card game, your guy can sprint, kind of like in Duel Masters, one that I will be doing, but that won't be for a while.
This is it. This is what we like to call in the
title
a suicide run, where you literally think you got it in the bag. And look at this hand. There's nothing here.
Nothing.
This is when I just knew I was in trouble, because this guy plays a deck that hits hard, it's fast, and a lot of his Pokemon are tanks. So to run a deck that isn't well built against him, not a very good idea. He starts off with Geodude. Geodude is a slow-building Pokemon. He takes 2 energies to get rolling, and the majority of his damage is based off coin flips. However, that immediately changes when he immediately evolves into Graveler.
Well, speaking of coin flips in this game, the reason I've never beaten this game, I've never even attempted to beat this game for one reason and one reason alone. The coin flip system is rigged. I swear to God, it is rigged. You will always flip tails. Your opponent will always flip heads. Always. It seems like no matter what, you will never, ever get out of sleeping, out of paralysis, out of confusion. But them, oh, one turn and bam, they're already better.
See, like in that, if I would have flipped heads, I would have been able to keep from attacking me for one turn. However, flipped tails, he's got an effectiveness, runs over Eevee. Now we're looking at, literally, Meowth standing between him and victory. I'm not going to place Jigglypuff on the bench, strictly because I realized at this point that there's really no point.
There's no point.
I'm not
He
going to win.
just put out an Onyx, and already, I mean, Rock Throw for 40 damage.
80 against normal.
Yeah, going
Runs
against a normal.
show on.
Just it.
And
that's
how quick it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's how the cookie crumbles. So
we'll see you guys next time when he actually tries something else.
All right, guys. See you then.